Instagram is like 80% of my income comes from there. I mean, I get a lot of direct messages daily. And the way I accomplish that is just not worrying about trying to get those clients, but about posting regularly, making decent work, having a specific style. Yeah, my name is Dorian Avila. I'm a logo designer. I work from home. I've been designing logos for almost 6 years. I love what I do. I have 2 children. I'm married, live in California. And I mean, that's really my full-time job, just designing logos. I'm living my dream. And hopefully I can help you guys with some tips or any questions you guys might have. I think every child is creative because we're always coloring and drawing and on walls, on paper, on everything. I just never stopped, and my parents really encouraged it. It didn't actually become an actual career until I started volunteering at a local church, and I saw a need where they were doing a lot of designs. So I was doing in the beginning videos, graphic design, slides, editing, video editing, and there was a need, and I just fell in love with the actual thing of it. And I'm self-taught, so I mean, I learned everything online. I mean, it's 2020, you can literally learn anything. My designs are a little bit more vintage, so I really love that style. It's an old style, so oddly enough, the trends don't really affect my style. If anything, when I first started, yeah, I was following like magazines. I was like following every page possible to see every year, like every 6 months, trends change, and this is coming, and this is not coming, and this is old. But if you're starting out, I would really encourage that you should pay attention to trends and any new styles that are coming out because they change often. I think it's important to try out everything in the beginning, to just experiment, to explore, and something is going to stick. You're going to enjoy something. It also helps following people that you really admire or look up to, and kind of imitate a little, not copy, but imitate their style, because that's how you learn. I'm self-taught. Again, 10, 15 years ago, that would be a little bit more difficult and possible. But in this day and age, it's so easy to learn any skill. I mean, you just sit down for 8 hours a day, like if it was school, download a bunch of videos, look up YouTube, Vimeo, and just pay attention, take notes, and use those skills you're learning. It's so easy. Some people work great in classrooms. They really love it, and they can afford it. So if you can afford it, and it's something that you personally, that's the way you learn, I think school is a great option. But if you are disciplined enough to be able to put in those hours every day, and I'm talking like real hours, I mean 8 hours a day on top of a full-time job in the beginning, it's very possible. Yeah, I love the Starbucks logo. I love badge logos. It has like a little vintage kind of vibe to it. It's simple. I'm not really in love with very minimalist designs, and like just a personal thing. And the reason is, when I started, I did do a lot of minimalist designs, but sometimes a customer would ask for like 3 sticks and a dot. And yeah, they were happy with it, and I was charging them money, but I felt like I was stealing from them because that's not. I didn't really put that much work into it versus my personal style. I love doing illustrations, and I use Pinterest a lot to see what's coming and going. Like I said, I try to kind of stay in my lane of my style, but I use Pinterest, Behance, Dribble a little bit. I also follow The Future, the YouTube channel. They have great interviews with a lot of designers, and they do kind of give you tips and tricks on what trends are coming, and just general graphic design advice from business to actual application of the art style. Whether you're getting paid or not, you should be creating something every single day, even if you hate it. If you don't want to do it, you have to push yourself. I mean, a lot of people say that if you do what you love, you will never have to work a day in your life. To a certain degree, that's true. One trick I had was to clear out my entire phone, my social media, and only follow design pages. So that way, when I didn't want to design and I opened up my phone, all I would see was design media, just pages. I was just bombarded by that kind of media. Yeah, right now I use a 22-inch Wacom Cintiq tablet because it's great. It's like a big tablet. It's actually draw on it. For me, since I do a lot of illustrations and it's a lot of drawing, it's helpful. It doesn't hurt having a tool like that. But I mean, honestly, everybody starts out with a paper and a pencil. If that's all you have, that's what you should use. You should be loyal to the tools you have available. Don't look at people that have these big expensive tools. It's changed and evolved over the years. In the beginning, it was really difficult because communicating with the customers is always a challenge. Usually, the clients provide an image or a photo. Sometimes it's a family member that I trace, or some stock photo they paid for, or just they already have a predetermined idea because they see my work and they know I do kind of an illustration, kind of a photo. So I go with that. So we determine obviously colors and style and the vibe and what mission they want to accomplish with their logo. But it's easier now because I'm so just have a specific niche on my work. I used to work at a very large church, so I was a creative director there. So when I left and started my own business, a lot of the people I knew were business owners, so that was kind of easy, and they were just kind of referrals. But after that, that kind of dried up, because that's easy, low hanging fruit. But social media, Instagram is like 80% of my income comes from there. I mean, I get a lot of direct messages daily. And the way I accomplish that is just not worrying about trying to get those clients, but about posting regularly, making decent work, having a specific style. I like to focus on very surreal illustrations. So, for example, a project I'm kind of working on right now, it's a mermaid. I love doing just animals crossed with people. They're just fun little illustrations. So I think it's infinite. It's borrowing from reality. Believe it or not, I look at my work to see what I've done in the past to see what kind of inspires any other future projects. So this is something I'm kind of currently working on. It's going through some changes. This is a customer for like a fruit and just fruits, apples and blueberries, and that's kind of a brand pattern I'm working on. And it's still being updated, but this is kind of just the first draft, first presentation I've done for the customer. Again, the brand pattern, and then just some quick mock-ups of how the actual logo would look, and just some variations of the design. One, make your logos in black and white, even if they're going to be in the final product's going to be in color. Because if it doesn't look good in black and white, it's probably a bad design. So sometimes color hides a lot of mistakes. To make some mock-ups, there's a lot of free mock-up resources out there. A quick example would be how mock-ups help is like the Nike logo. By itself, it's just a little line, but once you apply it to t-shirts and shoes, it looks amazing, comes to life. Fear is always going to be there. Fear is actually not always a bad thing. It's a good thing. Fear kind of drives us into action. You see a lot of podcasts with amazing graphic designers that make millions of dollars. There's a healthy amount of fear. Just be aware that that shouldn't be an indicator of how much work you should be putting out. I mean, it's always going to be a part of life, but just push anyways. Once Peter Voth, he's a big deal as far as the style I do. Stephen Noble, he kind of does the same thing I do, but he does more traditional on paper and traditional media. He does some digital stuff, but it's just traditional. He's been doing this for like 30 something years. Another one is a lady. Forget her name. I think it's Syrian, and there are three people that really inspire me on a daily basis. Thank you for
See
having
you.
me. Thank you.
Thank you.